IRL stream for the first time. It looks like there's some, it's raining a little bit. So there's a little bit of water on the lens here. Let's fix that. Got the Lincoln Memorial right there. There we are. All right, and because this is a test stream, because I've never done an IRL stream, let me know if the audio is okay. Let me know if it's picking up my brand new mic that I just bought, or if it's picking up my shitty phone audio. Again, this is just a test. I'm not like doing anything special. I don't have anything planned to talk about. I'm just going to test out, see how this works. The plan is to kind of change the way that I do content in a way that doesn't make me hate all other people. So the plan is to walk around DC every so often. Very surveilling. Where are you? Which country? Change the front camera? Well, this is the front camera. I'm not changing to the back camera. But can you make a guess what country I'm in? Oh, you can't even see the Capitol building. I'm gonna have to walk way too far into the middle of the lawn. I'm not doing that. I'll walk around. But yeah, anyway. The way in which I've been engaging with politics has made me very angry at too many people. I don't think it's a very positive way to interact. So yes, I'm American. And so the goal is to try and move away from the ultra aggressive, argumentative debate style. I still want to do that. Don't get me wrong. I still love debating, but I think that we need to have nice conversations. I think we need to have productive conversations, not just ones where we try to obliterate the other side. I know everybody's said this a million times, and maybe I'm just now coming around to the idea, or maybe the situation has changed. I don't know exactly. India, what are your thoughts just about the country of India? I don't have too many. Sorry. But yeah, this is just a test stream. I'm just going to walk basically down to the Capitol building and talk to chat while I'm doing it. So if anybody has anything that they want to ask me during this little test stream. If you have never seen my stream before, if you've never seen my YouTube channel before, I'm a political science student. I live in DC now, and I am trying a little something different. I'm raging in multiple different ways. Let's see here. Yeah, also, I forgot to say, you should like the stream, double tap the screen or whatever. This is the first time I've ever done an IRL stream, so forgive me. There we go. The Capitol building. What are your thoughts on Pakistan killing Indian citizen? I don't know anything about it, my guy. I'd have to read the news story to have an opinion. So right here we got the Washington Monument. The Washington Monument Lodge, I guess. I believe that is the Museum of African American History. Not 1,000% sure though. Capitol building over there, that's where we'll be walking over to. I had never mind, I'm not gonna talk about that. Anyways, so one thing to keep in mind for the next time for the first official launch of an actual IRL stream where I decide to talk about something, I'm definitely gonna have to consider how fast I'm walking because I'm already getting out of breath. Already losing my breath. But yeah. But yeah, so the idea is essentially I want to move away from the ultra aggressive, all the time, debate me doing something else sometimes. Just sometimes have a little else. My brother caught my sister pegging me with a coconut and wants a divorce now. Thoughts? You know what? I think that's based. I love America. You guys can do whatever you want and nobody can tell you guys otherwise. I can give you advice and I would say, stop pegging, but I'm just gonna cross. Don't tell Obama. All right. But yeah, so the basic idea, and if you can't tell, this is not something I do often or have ever done before, IRL streaming. So it took people twisting my arm very, very hard to do this, and even then I pushed back on it because I just see people who are IRL streamers as subhuman scum that do not deserve to see the light of day. But I think that if I am able to do it very privately like this, where I'm just kind of talking to myself, I think that it'll be fine, you know? I was shitting in my own mouth. Do you do that too? Well, you know what? Your joke would have landed a little bit better if you had spelled everything correctly. If you hadn't had any typos, it would have been way cooler. Way funnier too. But yeah, so the idea is, God, this helicopter just keeps on fucking going overhead. Hopefully that's not too loud. But yeah, I think that it'd be really cool to kind of like walk around DC after work sometimes. If there's something happening in the news, go and visit like a relevant location. If there's something happening with like the DOD, go in front of the DOD building and start walking from there or something. I thought that'd be really cool. God, these crosswalks take fucking forever, don't they? Let's see here. It's way more imposing in person. I will say that. It is significantly more imposing in person. All right, we got a walk sign. All right, so we're walking along where a lot of the Smithsonians are. There's a sign over there that says Smithsonian. We've got the National Mall over here to our right. We're going to cut back this way. We won't cut across the grass, that feels rude. I had considered walking by the Jewish Museum since there was that assassination or killing or whatever the correct terminology is last night, but I felt like that might be a little crass. Thought that might not pass the ethical smell test. All right, and here we are, coming up on the Capitol. Isn't that beautiful? You know, I've been living in DC for, almost a year now. That's so weird. Longest, or almost the longest, no, definitely the longest that I've ever lived away from home. Home for me is Houston, Texas. So definitely the longest I've ever lived away from home. And you know what, even after 10, almost 11 months, it never gets old seeing the Capitol. It never gets old. And it's way more visible from way more angles of the city than you would, I mean, like, unless you've been to DC, but you can see it from all over the place. But anyways. By the way, since this is a test stream, does the audio sound all right? Is the wind, because the wind is unbelievably crazy right now. If the wind is buffeting the microphone, let me know. Because this is all testing out the new microphone and testing out the limits of the current equipment I have for IRL streaming. The plan is eventually that I could maybe have like a short thing to read off to everyone to start off with, and then just start going off, walking around and kind of monologuing or talking or whatever the fuck, responding to chat. Speaking of chat, the audio is pretty good. Okay, thank God. I sat on a bench. I got off of the metro. I sat down on a bench for like 45 minutes trying to get this stupid piece of shit to connect. It's supposed to be a wireless microphone, but I had to connect it with a USB-C, so I'm just walking around with a 6-foot USB-C cord dangling off of me. But yeah, and let me see here. You can tell that I'm probably, or you could probably tell that I'm struggling for things to talk about. That's partly because I'm out of breath, so that's definitely something I'm gonna have to think about next stream, next time I try to do this. Especially since I'm starting this in the summer, which is such a dumbass idea. But yeah, if you subscribe to my channel, you can see the kinds of stuff that I normally do, which is sitting at a computer desk and watching the news, commenting on news. I usually get into a debate or two, whether it's with chat or someone jumps into a voice call with me. And one second, I want to not slip in mud. So yeah, that's what I would normally do. And I think that the current state of politics and how unbelievably broken everything is and how unbelievably cruel everybody has decided it is acceptable to be in public, it's kind of throwing me through a loop. It's kind of made me have to rethink quite a bit about my engagement with politics and the type of people that I want to interact with. Just like, not even in a political sense, just like, why the fuck would I want to talk to people that are reveling in other people's suffering, right? Like, I'm fine with political disagreements, but if you're going to be a shitty person, I don't want to interact with you anymore, right? But anyway, so I digress. So yeah, I normally get into some debates and stuff like that, but I think the thing that I want to do to try and wean myself off of hating everyone all the fucking time, Jesus Christ, is take walks like this, have something specific to talk about, walk around the mall, or if there's something specifically happening, go to that agriculture department, which I think is that gray building behind those trees over there. If there's something happening with agriculture, I'd go over to agriculture, start walking around, talking, blah, 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 blah. Jesus Christ, am I just out of shape, or is it just a long walk? I can't tell. Or maybe it's because I'm talking so much while I'm walking. Look at all these active fucking people. Oh, thank you for the, what do you call it? The Submarino, the membership. Thank you, I appreciate it. Is that gang? What does that mean? Is this Hyde Park? This is the National Mall. You can see the Washington Monument right over there. And you can see the Capitol building right there. This is just a test stream. I've never done an IRL stream before. I was saying earlier that I generally look at IRL streamers as subhuman freaks who disturb the peace. So I really push back on family, friends, colleagues, the Lord himself telling me, hey, you should walk around DC. You love politics. You're going to be, you're getting your degree in political science. Like, this is your life. This is what you're passionate about. Why don't you go into the actual city? Why don't you go and stand in front of the Capitol building and admire it? Why don't you go and well, I'm going to do that now. I want to do that. I need to bring the joy back, I talked about that a lot at the beginning of the year when things seemed like they were going to be a little bit bad. Now that things are really bad, I really need to find the joy. Ooh, that guy just took a softball straight to the shin. Jesus Christ. Anyways, Now you're one of them? Yep, I'm one of them. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, usually when I'm at my computer desk, when I'm at my streaming setup, you know, I've been streaming for 5 years, and I have a whole, you know, I have a format. You know, I sit down, I turn on the stream, I wait 5 minutes for people to pile in, I start talking, I soy out, I start screaming at people, I eat an edible, and I go to sleep, right? But with this, I don't really have a game plan, other than if I don't start doing it, I never will do it. So I'm starting to do it. Are you a Trump voter? I'm very much not a Trump voter. I am a very hardcore liberal, capital L liberal. I love capitalism, I love free markets, I love individual freedoms. I like a government that can secure our rights. I've been going on a civics kick recently. I only recently learned to love my country. Before I liked it, right? And even before that, I kind of hated it because I was a pretty hardcore leftist. But I have principles, I have things that I care about, and I want those things I want people to be taken care of, and I want good economic policy, and I want good foreign policy, I want a strong military. And so I'm kind of losing my train of thought because these softball guys are encroaching on the, oh, they're encroaching. 1 second. I gotta get out of the outfield here. Jesus Christ. Didn't hit. Strike 2. But yeah, I am not a Trump voter. You know, when it comes to like ideology, I think broadly, like if you care about ideology, I guess I am a capital L liberal, right? Enlightenment values, individual freedoms, etc. I don't really care about the ideology. It used to be really important to me, right? Especially when I first started streaming, I got into the whole political space online because I was watching people like Destiny or Vosh. And you know, socialism was like, it kind of is still like the thing. But you know, part of the reason that I'm a liberal now is because the Twitch politics space or something like that, whatever you want to call it, it put such a heavy premium on evidence, right? You go in there and you can prove your case and you're still, you know, rhetorically effective, yada, yada. But you gotta have the factual grounding. Because I had to have that factual grounding, it really completely destroyed any, Jesus Christ, there's softball everywhere. Is Thursday a good softball day? Anyways, when you have to look at evidence and when you have to look at data and when you learn how to interpret the data, it becomes a lot harder to be an extremist, in my opinion, unless you just are an ideologue. But like, it's not the ideology that I care about, it's the policy. It is very hard to keep a train of thought going when there's people sprinting out in front of you. Jesus. Okay. How is chat doing? Call the police? Not yet. We're fine right now. How is chat doing? I'm just trying to get used to the whole monologuing thing like this. It's not normal for me. But if you know, I appreciate if you hit the thumbs up and all that. I'm not very good at it's been 5 years of streaming and I still don't know how to do a proper call to action. I still don't know how to do a proper, hey guys, like the stream, subscribe, yada, yada, yada. So do all of that so I don't have to sit here and beg. All right, we're coming up on the Capitol building now. I believe, oh Lord, I don't know. Oh, that's the Smithsonian Institute right there, says so. Right over there, that's the Ag building. Let's see, what do we got right here? National Art Gallery of Art. Boy. So, I was also thinking of, oh, that is a very pretty building. But yeah, I was thinking about, there's a lot of people that I know or know of that live in the DC area or visit the DC area fairly often. So I thought it'd be cool, like, to, you know, hit one of them up, say like, hey, next time you're in the city, next time you're going to be in the city, let me know and I can head over there. We can walk around for an hour and get dinner or lunch or something. Sorry. Get dinner or something and sit and talk, interview, etc. Good God. All right. It is 6:56. We've been streaming for about 30 minutes, 21 minutes. Jesus. What are your thoughts on Destiny these days? You know, I'm just gonna, I am incredibly disappointed by the guy. We've talked about it a lot on stream. I've met the guy probably, I think it was 3 times. You know, I've talked to him a couple of times on stream. I think he's a sex addict. I don't think that he can control himself. But you know, that's me trying to, what's the word when you're diagnosing someone, but you don't, armchair psychologist. Anyways, like, I feel like people have made him to be like literally Hitler Satan, but like he's definitely not someone that anyone should recommend for any kind of relationship or like ethical, moral advice, stuff like that. I think that his politics haven't changed. They're probably the same. I probably agree with him politically on a great many things, but yeah, I think the ultimate judgment for me, like right now, I'm very disappointed. I'm very, you know, but the only possible out that he has is after the whole thing concludes, you know, after the lawsuit ends. If he comes out and has an actual, you know, like actually shows contrition, at that point, it might be better. It just totally depends. But right now, not a good dude. That's my opinion. Destiny, is that the weird little lisp guy, girl? Dude, please. Why are you adding so many different nouns? Yeah, if you want to say that, he's the debater guy. But anyway, yeah, I got into online politics by watching them. I moderated out quite a bit by learning about policy and learning about, you know, honestly learning about the different ideologies. Because I got the feeling that people were lying to me when they said that they wanted to help people. And so I started reading socialist ideology, you know, the theory books and stuff, State and Revolution and shit. I was like, oh wait, these guys might not be the good guys. These guys, they actually are like pretty hardcore, you know, they'll just kill people with no trial. So I don't like that sort of thing. I like rule of law. I like having a government limited by a constitution. I like that sort of thing. So that's just my personal preference. You know, I think it's the more moral thing. Go read about the Venus Project. It is, you know, I hadn't really considered, because I'm usually at a desk, I hadn't really considered how difficult it would be if I'm talking about something and then someone brings up a counterpoint about something that I've never heard about. Usually if I'm at a computer, I can just look it up immediately on stream. And it saves the perception of people thinking that I'm trying to dodge or that I'm pretending not to know. But that's going to be a lot more difficult when I'm on a phone with, you know, like no streaming setup, and I have one phone and an Apple Watch, and that's my equipment besides the microphone. So no, I don't know what the Venus Project is, and unless someone reminds me in the Discord. By the way, if you type in !Discord, you should get a link to the Discord, !donate, if you want to give your boy some Skrilla. I apologize for saying that out loud. I'm just gonna cross, fuck it. We're almost there. I'm just trying to get through it. Oh, fuck. Oh, we're almost done. And I can get on the metro home. Oh, look at the little starling. The lone starling. All right, let's see if we can go around this puddle here. play Frogger. Well, I mean, I kind of was just a second ago. I'm trying not to jostle the microphone too much so it doesn't kill you guys' ears. It's the perfect future city? I don't know about that. Based in normal things. Graham Hancock and Randall Carson. Why? Why are you telling me to read about these things? Is there something specific that you want me? You could just tell me to, or ask me a question. Ducks! Whoa, those ducks flew right by my face. That was so much closer than it looked like on the camera. Jesus Christ. Okay, that was cool. All right, we're at the Capitol building essentially. It doesn't look as imposing in the picture, but I assure you it's several magnitudes larger than you imagine. Okay, we're gonna walk around to the front of the Capitol. We'll walk in front of the Capitol and then I'll probably bid you guys adieu. So again, if you have any questions, I'm better at a call and response, or the back and forth than I am at monologuing. It's still something I'm gonna have to learn how to do. Well, you're at Washington, D.C. That's where I live. Look at the ducks. Just kind of sitting there. Yeah, so I know that Shorts is a transient place where people just kind of swipe through. So if you hadn't heard me saying it earlier, this is a politics channel. I talk about politics. I stream about politics. This is my first ever attempt at an IRL stream, or in person, outside of my desk and computer at home. So this is very rough. There is no plan. There is no talking points. There is no agenda on today's stream, but we ball. Like the stream, subscribe to the channel so that you can catch me when I'm at home at my desk. That's going to be a much angrier version of myself. Or you could subscribe and just wait for me to go live on Shorts. I'm going to try and do this more. I think that it's kind of cathartic walking around, And if there's something specific that I can talk about while walking around, I read about, some court case that's happening. And I come out here and I talk about the court case and the implications. Maybe if there's someone available that knows more about the legal system, hit them up and have them come over, use the second microphone I got. Something like that. Gang violence is out of control. I don't think that that's the case. Unless you're just stepping out of the 1990s, I think that you might be incorrect there. I hope they'll tell me that I can't walk around out here. I don't know exactly what's going on. But how's it going, Sturv81? Let us relax and see that majestic building. Sure, I'll take a breather for a second just to walk and let you guys see it. Again, if you guys have any questions for me or about me or et cetera, let me know. Still getting used to the monologuing. I'm not gonna lie, it makes me a little bit nervous. I didn't know there were gonna be like a million fucking cops around here. I just wanted to fucking stream and walk around. I don't want to get in trouble for I don't want to get in trouble for having my camera on the Capitol building while there's like a million, marked and unmarked cop cars. My hometown. Hey man, I can't imagine growing up here. I'm from Houston, Texas originally. I've lived here for almost a year, and I'm just absolutely blown away every single day. Every single time I come to the city, I'm blown away. It's just a very different. It's a storied city. It's one that has, history to it, and you can feel the history around you. I think that in part is one reason why. It might be me just like maturing a little bit. It might be me getting old. I don't know. But I don't desire the big blow up political fights. And I think part of it is the fact that I'm kind of maturing and stuff. Some of it's me getting old, but I think a lot of it is I'm a very genuine and sincere person. I have trouble turning off the sincerity, right? And so, 1 second, fuck. I want to go to Texas, ride a horse. Listen, you're not going to ride a horse if you go to Texas. You're going to be riding in a car for the majority of the time that you're in Texas because everything is an hour away. But damn, what was I saying a second ago? Oh, it's a storied city, and yeah, you don't really see stuff like that in Houston, you know. But I was saying something about the environment. I can't remember. Whatever. What the fuck is this? Is this open to the public? Well, someone will yell at me if I'm not allowed. How cute. Oh, look at the little chairs. Is there a sign around here that tells us what this is? Nope. It's just a thing. Okay. All right, well. I'm from Western Europe and we can't imagine such open spaces. Listen, I got to visit Europe for the first time last year or the year before, and then I went again. I went to Italy and then I went to the Czech Republic. I went to Prague. And if you've never been to America, it is a completely different vibe being in one of our cities to one of y'all cities. It is crazy different. Anyways, I'm thinking unless people have some questions for me or suggestions even, because again, this is my first IRL stream. If you guys watch other IRL streamers, I don't fucking know. I've been doing streaming for 5 years, maybe a little bit longer, and just always been behind my, god damn, you know what really sucks about DC? This is one thing I'll say fucking sucks about the East Coast. You guys have hills. I'm simply not used to the hills. Texas is flat. I can't even finish a sentence without thinking about the pain in my calves. Jesus. Anyways, let me see the building. Well, we're in the middle of trees right now. I'll point at it when we can see it. But yeah, if you guys have any suggestions, this isn't something this is the first IRL stream I've ever done. This is the first thing like this. And it's incredibly cringy walking around streaming. I do not assume that it's lost on me that I'm a near 30-year-old man walking around talking to himself and talking to people on a screen, but for the Netherlands, trust me, more flat than that. Let's see here. That's the good burn? No, I don't know about that. I'm dying right now. I think I'm gonna whip around, go around the Capitol. Once I get to the other side of the Capitol, we'll end it. Oh, we'll be able to see Library of Congress across from, I don't know which cardinal direction side of the building this is. I'm going to make a guess that it's north because that statue on top is pointing. No, don't know who that is, so can't shout him out. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, we're almost there, guys. Almost there. You're right near the Botanical Gardens. You know, I don't think I've been to the Botanical Gardens yet since I've been here. But see, that's one reason why I kind of want to do these. I want to walk around. I want to see more of the city that I've been living in for a year and barely have gotten to see. Jesus. Here, 1 second. I'm going to flip it. Oh, that's not what I want. That's me. Hi. How do I flip the thing vertical or horizontal? That's not it. Okay, I don't care. I was just trying to show more of the building. Look at that. Unbelievable. And you know, you see stuff like that, you know, and you think about everything that's going on right now. And, you know, it's symbols, right? Nothing has changed in the building itself, but it's a symbol. And given everything that's going on right now, it's kind of bittersweet to see it up close. But let's see here. Such an imperial aesthetic, really Romish. Well, yeah, that was intentional. The framers of the Constitution looked to the Roman Republic and the Republican form of governance and democracy in Greece and Athens. And I'm reading about that right now, actually, and how much importance they put on ancient Rome, to the point where while they were writing the Federalist Papers, and I have a copy of the Federalist Papers in my backpack here, but while they were writing the Federalist Papers, they would actually sign their names. I can't remember, I think it was Hamilton, Alexander Hamilton. He signed his name as Publius when he wrote the Federalist Papers. So they put a great deal of importance not only on the system of a republic, but the fact that the Romans came up with it and they wanted to pay homage. And this is the first, I believe the first, I'm kind of pulling this stat out of my ass from something I heard years ago, but I believe this is the first functional democratic nation since ancient Rome. But I could be wrong on that, if anyone wants to fact check me back at home. Let's see here. Yes, right there, I believe right there is the Library of Congress. If we turn around here, Capitol building, stunning. Oh. All right, we are almost at the end of this little soiree, folks. But if you like the stream, I'm not good at the call to actions or the, hey everyone, like and subscribe, but do that, you pieces of shit. Like the stream, subscribe. Again, if you watch me, if you go into my channel and you look at stuff, it's going to be probably a lot more aggressive style content. Because I'm pretty passionate about the stuff that I talk about. I care about it pretty deeply. I get pretty angry when people say stupid shit. Here, I will make one detour just because so much is going on with it right now. I'll make a small detour over here. I believe this is the Supreme Court. Satan's workplace. Hello, saying hi from New Orleans, Louisiana. Oh my gosh, New Orleans. I went there one time when I believe I was 14 with my family. That is also a city that has so much unbelievable history. It was just, I remember even now thinking how cool it was just to sit there and look at the buildings and hear the tour guides would walk by you, and the people that were willing to pay for a tour, they were getting their stuff, but I was getting it too because I was walking around nearby. But yeah, New Orleans is a very pretty city, at least the part that I saw over, Jesus Christ, 15 years ago. All right. Yeah, I believe this is the Supreme Court building. I actually, today, was reading, I'm reading an annotated copy of the Constitution right now, and I got to read the part about the judicial branch, and they really don't write too much about the judicial branch. They established the Supreme Court in the Constitution, but then they're like, Congress, you can take care of the rest of it. We're done with this. We got the legislative, we wrote a bunch of rules for them. We got the executive, we wrote a bunch of rules for them. The judiciary, fuck it, they're the guys that interpret the rules, but they don't need too many. So they said Congress can set all that up. Yeah, there's that. It looks like it's getting some renovations or restorations. All right. we have no rights. I don't agree with you on that. I think we do have rights. I think America is uniquely good when it comes to the preservation of rights. I think that right now we're in a very scary time where our rights are being challenged by our own government, by the executive. I think that that's a very terrifying thing to experience. But you know, it's only through, it felt very partisan to me, even when I was pushing back against it, because I knew it was wrong morally, right? But there's no backing for any of the things that he's doing, you know, constitutionally or by the framers' intention. If you want to make those framers' intentions arguments, read. I encourage you. Here, let me see if this, if it's easily accessible, this copy right here. It is. Yeah, I highly recommend. Yeah, I'm just gonna cross. Fuck the law. You gonna tell me I can't jaywalk? Lawman? Anyways, yeah, I highly recommend this copy. I'm reading through it right now, and the Ray Raphael guy is a pretty intelligent guy. He seems pretty even-handed in his explanations of the Constitution and people's perspectives on it. But what he doesn't do is skimp on what the founders wanted, right? He dispels common narratives. Uh-oh, my microphone is falling. Jesus, one sec. All right. Learn what your birth certificate really is. Well, you're either gonna have to tell me, or if you don't tell me that, I'm not going to look it up. I'm going to forget the second I turn off this stream. But anyways, yeah, I think that, you know, I'm a hardcore liberal. But I do know that what's going on right now and with the executive is just untenable. It's unconstitutional. So many of the things that they're trying to do, and you know, if they just tried to get legislation through Congress, there would be no argument. But they're just breaking the law because they're too feckless or incompetent to get legislation through. Well, folks, we've got Library of Congress in this fountain right here. Very nice, very nice. I'm approaching the metro station that I came in on, so I'm going to see if I can't locate that. Any final questions? Anything that you guys want me to point my camera at from this angle? We can take one last. Here, I'll climb to the top of the stairs while you guys decide if you want to ask any final questions or anything. Again, this isn't something that I've ever done before. I'm not like an IRL streamer. It took a lot of arm twisting to get me to do this, but I'm doing it. So it's really rough, but hopefully over time it gets better. I do like the exercise, but all right, there we go. We got the Capitol building. We got the Library of Congress. Anything else? Anything else from anybody? Because I think I'm going to log off here. You came from your mother's water on to land, and we issued a certificate of manifest. Okay. Are you saying that we're all just flesh boats? Okay. Anyways. Yeah, I'm going to, here, we'll do this and sign off or whatever. I don't have a sign off. Yeah, fuck, I'm just going to end the stream. Actually, I don't even know how to end the stupid stream. That's how you do it. All right, catch you guys later.